How did you react? I know some of you opened your eyes, you jumped out of bed, your brain started sorting through the day's activities. You may even have a jump start on your future career. Some of you, I know some of you hit the snooze button, just like my wife, to buy another 10 minutes or so. Now, you may also be undecided about what's the right job, the new city, or the next steps to take. Either way, your reaction to that alarm, it probably mirrors how you'll settle into the business of life after graduation. Some of your classmates are weighed down by the challenging what ifs everybody keeps throwing in your face. Others, I know others, you can't help but be driven by excitement, hope, by the power of possibility. After all, that Michigan degree that you're receiving today, it gives you an edge. And so do the words of our fight song, hail to the victors, the conquering heroes, the leaders and best. When I was first asked to be your speaker, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't quite sure what to talk about that would be valuable. As of today, all of you have made it further in school than me. Matter of fact, I think technically I'm still a freshman. But since I've had a head start on life, I'll share some insights into what's to come. And believe me, what I'm about to say, it'll be simple to remember, but not easy to put into practice. How you approach today and every day is a choice. It's your choice. Your life will ultimately be framed by the choices you make. There are no promises. There's no guarantees in the real world. So, what's going to separate you from the masses? The dream you have is the dream of many. The work you put in is being put in by many. By some estimates, and I just heard this, the average person will put in 90,000 hours of work in their lifetime. The key and what's going to separate you is passion. Passion for what you do. Passion for who you are. Now, you may start the next chapter of your life filled with apprehension. Look, you wouldn't be the first, you wouldn't be the only, or even unrealistic. We all know, look, there's uncertainty out there. You don't need to hear that from me. However, there are positives. Positives including networking, mentorship opportunities, rising entrepreneurship, and many others. Focus on the future, fortified by possibility. Or not. It is a choice. It's your choice. Look, I love quotes. One of my favorites by Nelson Mandela. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. It is an honor for me to be on stage today. Thanks to President Ono, the Board of Regents. I'm getting a degree that I was on the road to when I signed my Michigan letter of intent long time ago. And it is actually a relief because I started worrying that my kids would get a degree before me. And they are 7, 6, 3, and 2. But let's be fair, I took a slight detour to fulfill my lifelong dream of playing baseball for the New York Yankees. Before I go any further, though, let me say I am humbled to be among today's honorary degree recipients who they've distinguished themselves in philanthropy, science, and medicine. I had an opportunity to spend a little time with them last night, and your accomplishments are nothing short of remarkable. Now, to the graduates who we are here to celebrate, not just for your past accomplishments, but for those that are still ahead. You're all remarkable in unique ways as well. But hear me when I say this. You're not ready-made. You're still evolving. No one should peak at 21, 22 years old. So don't keep looking behind you. You're not going that way. My story from a young age has repeatedly hinged on what seemed to be the smallest, even insignificant decisions or choices I made. Like what? One story that pops up is early in high school, some friends of mine, they invited me to go on a weekend fishing trip. Now, I don't think I ever been fishing before in my life, but it sounded like a good time. But I also had practice. And when I mentioned it to my dad, he simply said, look, if you want to be a fisherman, go. He said, but if you want to be a Major League Baseball player, you got to go to practice. Now, ultimately, my dad left that decision to me. My choice, I skipped the fishing trip instead of skipping practice. So look, it's the intentional decisions we make, no matter how big or small they may seem at the time, that pave the roads we take. Expectations, look, everyone has them, especially on days like today. But there are two types of expectations. Our own, which are triggered by personal values and beliefs, experiences, goals, ambitions, self-confidence, personal biases. Then there's other people's expectations. They're built on peer pressure, family influences, professional standards, media, pop culture. That can be really heavy. What you're really up against is doubt. Aim high, fuel your own expectations. You've got a lot of life ahead of you. You owe it to yourself to think long and hard about what you want to do with your life, to think about what you value most. Is it a safety net you're looking for? Highest starting paycheck? Leave a mark on the world? It's a choice. It's your choice. Baseball was my passion from the time I was little. Find yours. Fall in love with something, anything, because when you do, you work harder to achieve it. It will drive you. You have to feel that dream in every muscle, every bone in your body, because with every dream you have, you're going to have to sacrifice your comfort, sacrifice your ease. Now, there may be unwanted side effects with those dreams too. Side effects like doubt, criticism, endless hours of work. But that's the price you pay. Playing baseball was a daily challenge for me. An even bigger challenge was making sure that the dream stayed alive. Growing up, my parents taught me to aim to be the best in everything on and off the field. Being a successful player and person was about more, they said, than just what happened on the field. That's a lot to digest at a young age. For my passion, I had a plan. And I built that plan around small, incremental goals, like making a Little League All-Star team, later playing at some point as varsity as a freshman, making all-district. Even as a professional, I built my career around small, incremental goals. Here's a simple tip I learned from my mom. Before each season, she'd ask me, did you write down your goals? Now, my mom never asked me, and I never told her what was on my list. But identifying and putting these goals down on paper, they help transform them from just ideas into actions. It is a choice, your choice. I spent my entire career playing in the biggest media market in the world. The glare was constant. The attention, it was relentless. Many called me mysterious, amongst other things, but we'll use mysterious, because I kept things private. Look, in reality, I was just listening to the voice in my head. It was my dad's voice. It kept telling me, be patient. Listen more than I spoke. So I looked, I listened, I learned. The silence made me smarter. Silence made me better. Look, I know I look young. Why is that funny? But I didn't even have a phone in high school. So social media wasn't a thing. On the other hand, you've grown up. You've grown up in a world where everything's public. TikTok and IG may be a huge part of how you express yourself and you communicate to the world. So look, I get it. I understand. It's enticing. The conversations, they're loud. How many selfies or reels have you already posted today? A lot, right? Starting right now, dare yourself. Put the phone down. at least for a second. It is what you do when no one else is watching that really makes you stand out. No one has to know about your choices but you. Failure. Failure is essential. If I can promise you one thing for certain, you will fail. The bigger the dream, the bigger the risk. But what's the price if you don't take the risk? If you don't commit to the dream? You might end up overmatched, but maybe you won't. I failed publicly. I failed miserably. There were days I literally cried because I was so bad. My first season as a professional, I made 56 errors. And for the non-baseball fans, that's hard to do intentionally. And that's also not funny. But you, me, every one of us has to learn to deal with failure. I wouldn't have had the success without the failures. It's your job to make sure that a speed bump doesn't become a roadblock. Success, it's hard. That's why we celebrate. It's why champagne is sprayed all over the locker room after winning a World Series. Why you will undoubtedly celebrate tonight. Oh, don't give me the little yeah. You know you're going to celebrate tonight. Prepare yourself for even bigger challenges ahead by surrounding yourself with good people who add value to your life. People you can and will learn from. Find someone worth looking up to. Find someone you don't want to disappoint. Those people, they will become a valuable source of motivation and accountability. Find someone, anyone, who believes in you, who will push you to achieve more day after day, year after year. You'll set your bar higher because of how much you respect and you value their support. For me, it was my parents. I'd walk onto the field before a game and I'd look up to the stands. And people thought I was looking around and I wasn't focusing. I was really looking for my mom and dad. I did the same thing this morning. They're right up there. It was almost like I couldn't start until I found them in their seats. I gave them a wave and they waved back. It gave me comfort. Comfort to know I wasn't alone. Even when they physically weren't present, I knew they believed in me. They were rooting for me. They were supporting me. And they would be the first ones to reach out and check on me. It is powerful to know you're never alone. We can always fail on our own, but I tell you what, it's damn near impossible to succeed in anything significant alone. All your dreams added up to you marching into the stadium today in that cap and gown. Remember, goals and dreams can change and they can evolve over time. That's okay. It's reasonable. The process shouldn't change. Make goals. Focus your energy and time on turning that new passion into reality. I continue to fail at my new passions, just like you will. I continue to learn from others who've been in your shoes. Continue to listen to those who have more experience. The process shouldn't change. Make the choice. The New York Yankees, like the University of Michigan, has a lot of tradition, a lot of history, a lot of memories, and yes, a lot of victories and championships. But after decades in baseball, really good decades I might add, you know what I remember most? What I value most? It won't just be what I accomplished in pinstripes. It'll be the lessons I learned off the field because of the people in my life and the experiences we shared. Ask yourself, what will you remember? The silly stuff? The most difficult? Or the person you've grown into. I'll leave you with these last thoughts as you exit the stadium to a well-deserved ovation. Wow yourself and the world with your dedication to following through on your passions. Passion and dedication always beat talent. This is the start. It's the start of a new and thrilling chapter in your lives. Look around. Soak it all in. The faces you see, the friendships you built, the memories you made. As Coach Sembeckler said, those who stay will be champions. These past few years have been some of the best of your life. This place, the people who have surrounded you and supported you, helped shape who you are. You will always be a Michigan Wolverine. I challenge you to become champions of hope. Believe, without a doubt, that when given one sliver of a chance, your generation not just can, but will reimagine and reconstruct a better tomorrow for all of us. Young people have always responded to their generation's unique challenges. Follow in the footsteps of your predecessors, other Michigan alums. Step up to the future ahead of you. It is a choice. It's your choice. Go Blue.